Hello and welcome back to FPS Creator Classics, where we take a look at interesting and original games developed with FPS Creator. Today's game is one that I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually played it. This is the 3-level demo of Robert D. Anderson and the Legend of Cthulhu, which was developed by Austrian developers Homegrown Games back in 2007, so quite early for FPSC, one of the earliest games actually. So there's a number of interesting things about this game. Firstly, it's a very mixed media kind of piece. It's a game, so obviously there's playable levels, but it also has fully realised and filmed cutscenes, which is very unusual for FPSC games, as well as graphic novel elements as well. I've actually downloaded the patch, the 1.02 patch, which theoretically is supposed to work with later versions of Windows than XP, which is I guess what it was originally developed on. But I can't get it to work myself. The intro will play if I tap that, but these chapters, nothing happens when I click those. All I can say is that there's 15 of them, some bonus content, and some multiplayer maps as well. So I guess this is what you get when you buy the full game. And also, not being able to read German, I can't translate that. But the demo is in English, so I'll be able to understand that. In order to actually play this game, you actually need to go into the data folder, and each of the chapters are broken up into their own separate folders. So pretty much like your standard FPSC executable, there's a setup file that you can edit. You see I've put my screen resolution in there, 1920 by 1080, and then you just fire that up and play, well, the chapter. I don't know if the chapters contain multiple levels. As I said, I've never played this before. But just before we start, I will read you the description of the game from IndieDB, just so we know what we're getting ourselves into. And then I'm actually going to, with the magic of video editing, play the intro cinematic and then go into the game. Because, I think, that's definitely the way to experience this, as it's so narrative driven. So here's the description of the game on IndieDB. Anderson and the Legend of Cthulhu is a playable horror novel containing shooter and adventure elements. It takes the protagonist, Robert D. Anderson, last descendant of a Count's dynasty, from New York to Germany around 1940, where he finds himself in the middle of the starting war. Following his obscure and dire family history, he discovers a huge underground system of cages and caverns beneath his ancestors' castle. There, the legendary Order of the Black Sun jeopardizes his life, as it exists, with dark, blasphemous rituals. So, I'm expecting some weird stuff to go on here, some Lovecraftian themes and visuals. I'll be honest, I know very little about Lovecraft, but I'm hoping that this game will be a fitting introduction for me. So yeah, let's get underway. I'll play the intro cinematic and then we'll get into level 1.
Everyone calls me Anderson. Robert D. Anderson. The perfect name for a New York Seamus like me. And in times like these, I'm glad that almost no one knows my real name. Robert Dietrich Baron von Landers. I can barely remember my original home on the border between Bavaria and Austria. I was still a little boy when one night an angry mob stood outside the gates, loudly demanding the death of my grandfather, the old Baron. My parents fled through the woods with me and a few possessions, while the estate of the Landers was put to the torch. We arrived in New York. Everything was new and fascinating, especially for a young boy like me. For my parents, the new beginning wasn't easy. Their noble origins meant nothing here. My father seemed to age 3 years for every year that passed. By the time he was 45, his hair was snow white. The doctors didn't know what to do. And so as a teenager, I had to bury not only him, but also my mother. She died a few months after my father, probably of grief. My parents had saved a small amount every month in order for me to be able to attend one of the better universities in the country. I wanted to fulfill their wishes as best I could, and graduated with fair grades in criminology and journalism. I think they would have been proud of me, although my choice of profession probably would have shocked them. At age 25, I opened my own detective agency. 2 years later, I received an open contract from the police as reporter and special investigator. Everything was going perfectly. At least until that day in February 1940, when the chief of police called me and informed me that it was vital that I meet with him in Providence, a backwater town in the middle of nowhere, to put it politely. He led me to a cellar where a body lay on the floor. The dead man was a certain William Leland, an infamous old occultist. His face was shredded, as though by a wild animal. The reason the chief had called me was a yellowed letter that was found next to the body.
My dear William, brother in spirit, my own son wishes to put an end to my life. Have you ever heard anything so monstrous? Now, we both know that the appropriate nature always skips a generation. Therefore, I also place great hopes in my grandson, Robert. And now his father, my own son, wants to kill me. Not only that, he wants to burn my body and dissolve it in acid. As a correspondent who is proficient in our arts has advised him. But you already know that, dear William. After all, it was your letters I found on him. You fool! Nothing can stop me. But you will pay for your treachery. I have sent the digger after you. It will take years, perhaps even decades, to find you. But find you it will. Rely on it. Farewell, old friend. Heinrich, Baron von Landers.
I set out immediately for Europe, to my old homeland. We were not yet at war with the Germans, but it was not easy for an American to travel to the heart of the new fascist giant. However, I wanted to know for certain what had happened with my father and grandfather, an understanding I could only find on the estate of the Landers.
Halt! Stehen bleiben! Waffe fallen lassen! Was suchst du hier, Amerikaner?
I knew enough of that sort. Obedient and ready to crawl on the floor to any authority.
Ganz ruhig. Ich bin Freier von Landers. Rechtmäßiger Besitzer dieser Ländereien hier.
Papiere! Ah, der Freier von Landers ist zurück.
Es ist mir eine Ehre, Freiherr von Landers. Kann das ein Zufall sein, nachdem was letzte Nacht bei den Labors passiert ist?
Ein Zufall? Nie und nimmer. Ah, ein Mann von Welt.
Werfen wir ihn in das Loch zu den anderen. Da ist er gut aufgehoben.
Okay, so yeah, here we are, level 1, or chapter 1 at least. The music's interesting. I'm feeling Europop here. I'm expecting a big drop at the moment. I don't think I'm going to get it. So let's load up the first level and see how we're doing.
And so I fell, knocked down and robbed, mocked by some henchmen of a power which I alone, thanks to the newspaper reports in America, confronted critically. But for an outsider, What was happening then in the German Reich was difficult for an outsider to imagine. And what was happening within the walls of my ancestors would not even have found a place in weird tales. Yet, I suspected nothing of that when they could at least let me have the cigarettes.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if we were supposed to hear the end of that, but well, here we are. I love the voice acting, by the way. I forgot to mention that the game actually features Harry Shelley, the voice of Max Payne, as the eponymous Robert D. Anderson. So here we are. I guess we're in some kind of prison.
You could shoot your way clear. I saw something metallic glinting back there, probably a pistol. And there are barrels up there.
I think I just picked up some ammo. There's this banana for reasons I can't explain. Okay, so we have a pistol. The standard Colt 45 that was present within Game Guru. Not Game Guru, sorry, FPSC. Wrong engine. Let's move these barrels. Right click to pick them up, that's pretty standard. Now, if this is explosive it might do me some harm, so... Okay, so we're in some kind of castle complex, I suppose. It's weird, a metal step made of marble. Interesting artwork. Wouldn't necessarily say that was of the period, but okay.
Soldaten, bewahrt Ruhe. Wir untersuchen die Ereignisse der letzten Nacht und tun alles, euch zu beschützen.
I mean, as I said, not understanding German, I'm, yeah, not going to be able to translate for you, but we have a key now, so hopefully that's going to help. Okay, so these enemies... Oh god. Yeah, these enemies actually come with FPSC. When FPSC shipped, it had World War II
An SMG?
assets.
No thanks. I hate those things. Look at what they did in Chicago.
Really? You're not going to let me pick up the machine gun? Never heard of being someone ideologically opposed to machine guns, but fair enough. Not sure if I can get through these doors or if I'm even supposed to get through these doors. The ambient noise in the background is the stock FPSC hum. It sounds like something straight out of Star Trek Enterprise.
A secret passage. Interesting.
I mean, it wasn't really that secret, I'll be honest. That was quite easy to find. Oh, you mean this? I guess, yeah, fair enough, that is a secret passage. This sounds like custom music. Nice touch. And we have, what is this? Electrified barbed wire. Oh god. Yeah, so we can't... How are we supposed to get around that? Okay, I know what I have to do. Yeah, boy. So this must have been made on a very early version of FPSC, seeing as it dates from 2007. The light mapping quality is not spectacular, but I don't know if that's a deliberate choice to try and kind of keep the file sizes down and keep the quality down a little bit. Maybe this is just like the maximum that FPSC could do at this point. Don't 100% know what I'm looking for here.
These barrels could be useful.
Okay. For what? What do you want me to do with them? I mean, I can blow them up if you like, but... Let's figure this out. No doorway. far as I can make out. Anything back here? No. Ah, there's a passageway over there. And I'm stuck in the scenery. The HUD in the bottom left. I'll be honest, I find it a little bit distracting.
If I set that off from here, I'm dead. I have to control the explosion from around the corner.
Okay, well that's pretty useful signposting. So basically these barrels are explodable and I need to set a line of barrels up so that I can blow up that tank. I guess here will probably do it, maybe? Don't know. I'll put another one down. Better to be safe than sorry. Can I use this one? I think the biggest problem right now is actually going to be seeing these barrels. I'm concerned about the blast radius not being big enough. Let's try and place these a little bit more precisely. There's that ever-present sound of fire in the background. Something that I think was possibly a downside of FPSC was how it handled sound over distance. Sounds just don't seem to fade off gradually enough. So stuff that's, you know, many, many meters away sounds very close. Right, well, let's see how we get on with this. I really hope that blew up what I wanted to blow up, because otherwise we're stuck here. Yes. Nice. I quite like that. That's quite a nice little puzzle. I think the frame rate's dropping slightly. Interesting level design. Not okay, that's unfortunate. Not necessarily architecturally accurate, I suppose. I'm not sure it makes 100% sense, but I mean it works in the context of this level. Now do I dare to approach this guy? I mean, I don't know whether there's enemies spawned in or what. Oh, you're kidding. Yeah, the AI in FPSC is not great. So I'm going to have to go around there, put him out of his misery. So a couple of points here. Would have been nice to have a little bit of light here coming out of the fireplace. Just light up the room a little bit. Certainly would have made it easier to spot that enemy that was trying to kill me. Someone's trying to shoot me and I can't see where they are.
Electricity. Gas. Lots of switches. I think if I push the wrong thing here, I'm dead.
I mean, say what you will about the occasionally ropey level design, the voice acting's top notch. Where is this? Where is he shooting me from?
Double locked. I'd rather see whoever's behind this door dead.
More ammo, that'll come in handy. Anything down here?
A code table. It looks as though everything here is coded with prime numbers 1, 3, 5, and so on.
I wonder how they got this Harry Shelley guy involved. I wonder what their relationship to him is. Requires a key. I have the key. But what was down here? See, this is annoying me now. Something was shooting me from down here. This guy. What happens if I shoot? Whoa! Okay, that was a big bang. That one didn't explode. I'm just an anarchist now, I'm just trying to shoot stuff. Oh, I've only got 5 bullets left. That's probably not good. The only room I've not properly explored is the one with the generators in. Ow. I don't really know what these mean. Roman numerals. I suppose I should have picked a prime number, but I don't know. I still survived, thankfully. And that doorway's finally open. Right, okay, good. And we're through.
Achtung an alle wachhabenden Truppen. Der Amerikaner ist geflohen. Schießbefehl wird hiermit erteilt.
I always appreciate a...
If only I had my own pistol.
Okay, great. Right, so let's get on to chapter 2, I guess.
It was not a dungeon, rather an overly large storage room into which disagreeable visitors vanished, and which was not only weakly secured, but thanks to the pistols lying around, represented an invitation to flee. However that may be for the soldiers, I was now officially an escaped prisoner, an enemy to be eliminated.
And we're back. I like the music on the loading screen, it's very atmospheric.
Look at that. A real pistol. All I need is ammunition. Okay. Ammunition and a key.
Okay, so we have some hexagonal sci-fi style windows. Again, these are assets that came with FPSC. So perhaps not as much custom media in this game as others that I've played. These walls are custom. Arguably the brick texture is perhaps a little bit too big. I'd expect the bricks to be, I mean these would be absolutely enormous chunks of rock. You'd expect them to be a bit smaller.
These grenades are heavy. 2 will have to do.
So I better use them wisely then. But they're not grenades, they're shells. Anyway. Maybe I'm just splitting hairs here. Okay, so we have a little bit of ammo. And at last, a firelight. So this is what we could have done within the other levels. Just adds a little bit of ambience, you know? So some mad scientist is just trying to shoot me. Still more Nazis and take me out. I'm going to see if I can try and get through chapter 2 a little bit quicker than chapter 1. A little bit embarrassed about the fact I spent 5 minutes going around in circles. I wasn't really looking at my prompts there. I didn't see if we actually picked up a key or not. Are we outside? No, surely not. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay, I'm dead. Wow, tough game if it kills you that easily. Right. Guess we'll try again.
It was not a dungeon. Look at that. A real pistol. All I need is ammunition.
But that's not a pistol, it's... well, yeah, anyway.
Okay. Ammunition and a key.
So let's try not to die this time. I think I'll probably leave in that death just because I think it's useful to see that this game is actually challenging. Of course, I have grenades, I should have remembered that.
These grenades are heavy. 2 will have to do.
So this asset, right, this is some shelving assets. I think this came as part of Model Pack 3. And I've noticed this in several games. The texturing is just completely off. I don't know what the quality control was like on that asset, but it's just awful.
A map of the whole facility. That's what I call useful.
Can I pick it up? Yes, I can. Even though I have to jump on the table to get it. Okay, down to 60 health. Top secret documents, can I pick those up? No. But more ammo. That's handy. So I have grenades, but I don't know how to throw them. Using the mouse wheel, nothing happens. Using the number keys, nothing happens. Well, 0 puts your gun away, but... I'm going to try G, because that is the internationally recognised key for grenades. G does nothing. E. R is reload. T. F does nothing. How do you throw these grenades? That's ridiculous. Well, I got past him, but I'm going to need to know how to do those grenades, otherwise we are not going to make it through this chapter. I also cannot move these boxes, which is very frustrating. Do you not want me to go down here or something? Just say. Oh, here we go.
A real pistol.
Okay, well we have a revolver now, so hopefully that's more powerful. Do they really not want me to get down here? Yeah, I think they do. But then why did they make one box pick-upable? He says not being able to pick it up. Okay, so why did it move? That's just ridiculous. I'm not saying that's a developer thing, I think that's more of an FPS thing, but that's silly. This guy's just quietly roasting in the fire there. I can't help but feel I'm going the wrong way, and that I did need to go down that that pathway with the crates. Now if I can't open this door, I'm going to be really annoyed. Okay, good. All is not lost.
Careful up there. I'll blow you away.
We have a random rifle sticking out the floor here. So, perhaps my... Press enter to use. I'm doing it. I'm pressing enter to use. Right, so you fired the artillery cannon, it destroyed the boxes. Okay, that makes more sense. Fair play. Yeah, that is clever. Would have been nice to have seen the gunshot. Maybe had some kind of, you know, like spawn a decal or something of a muzzle flash. I don't know. I just can't get over how this guy's just roasting like a marshmallow. What an undignified end for this decorated scientist in this Nazi facility. Such a promising life ahead of him until he discovered the Nazis. I beg your pardon? Okay, this game continues to surprise me. I like the design of this room. This is cool. Just before I go down there, I'm just wondering if it's possible for me to get up to this... No, lost calls, I'm not going to be able to do that. What about this ladder? Can I use that? Ladders didn't traditionally work in FPS, so I'd be surprised if you could. Yeah, no you can't. Random pipe section there. That's not going to do much good. Are you kidding me? Son of a... Unbelievable. Okay, well here we are again.
Look at that. A real pistol. All I need is ammunition.
See if I can blitz through this a bit quicker.
These grenades are heavy. Two will have to do.
I wonder, I mean, they're saying grenades, but I'm just wondering, that artillery gun that we have to fire, I mean, presumably it needs shells, right? So they're saying grenades, but maybe they mean shells. So you pick up the shells for the gun, and then you find the key to get into the room with the gun, which for some inexplicable reason is situated inside, pointing at another part of the
A map of the
system
whole
of
facility.
cabins.
That's what I call useful.
We do not have a lot of health left. Gonna have to be on point with this. So I don't have to kill this guy. I can just zip past, theoretically. Okay, I think I'm safe for now. Let's see if I can get in and shoot this guy.
A real pistol.
Okay. My god. He takes so much health, that guy. Right, I'm gonna sprint now. Thank god the holding shift works. So yeah, slightly frustrating that I've died twice. That's kind of embarrassing. Seems a little bit unfair, but oh well. Maybe this is just how games were in 2007. They actually challenged you. And we're in.
Careful up there. I'll blow you away.
I pressed enter, nothing happened. I'll try again. Wait a minute, do I have to be like... Oh! There we go, that killed him. I'm not sure who decided that a anti-aircraft gun or artillery gun or whatever needed to be pointed at a base, at another part of the base, but yeah, that guy did me a lot of favours. But one thing you can say is at least this game is not short. You're actually getting a decent amount of gameplay out of it. And actually 3 levels out of 15 is not a bad little ratio. Right, here we go. Let's not try not to die. Yes. You don't know how happy that makes me.
Lots of mysterious junk. Base in New Swabia. Biogenetic research. Tool drive.
So it's your standard Nazis do crazy experiments trope. Not a bad thing. Tried and tested. What the actual Führer is that? Okay, UFO. Okay, so we have UFOs. Firstly, what? And also, now where do I go? And there's Cthulhu himself, of course. Had to make an appearance. I've just triggered something by walking back through there. I'm really concerned I'm about to get blown away again. Halt! I do not have a key for this door. Maybe a little bit too much of a dependence on key finds, but I guess that was FPSC back in the day. Oh god.
This animal reminds me of my childhood.
What? How does it remind you of your childhood? Aunt Cthulhu, of course, was... yeah, always baked the best cakes. I don't think we picked up a key, did we? I don't remember picking up a key. Oh god, that's a rocket launcher. I am, yeah, in trouble. I think some copious use of the shift key is going to come in handy here. Ow! Who uses a bazooka indoors? That's so unsafe! Have these Nazis not learned anything of health and safety? I have 43 health left. That is not good enough. There is a minigun over there.
Forget it. I couldn't even load a thing like that.
Well, you're useless. Robert, you're such a... honestly, you exasperate me. 1 health! Wow. Couldn't have done that better if I tried. Thank God there's a health pack back here. Whew. So I guess that was a boss battle. I really hope that's the end of this level, because I don't think I can sustain another enemy like that.
Bazooka in an enclosed room? Those lunatics.
That's exactly what I said, Robert. Okay, and some nice German rock to finish on. Right, time for level 3.
I had read a great deal of nonsense about the Germans in the few serious newspapers at home. Reports of superweapons, such as the world had never seen. Speculations about rockets that could even reach England and all manner of hair-raising stories about human experimentation and fooling about with the occult by the upper class. I could now at least confirm the secret weapon.
In a way, the fact that it loads so quickly on Windows 10 is actually bad, because you don't get to hear all of that loading. I mean, sure, at this point, sure. There are some very weird goings on in this game. I mean, I guess I should have expected that, right, but... As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by...
My grandfather had an altar like that.
Did he now? So he was also a member of the occult. Interesting. I'm starting to... I've realised I'm not really taking this game seriously. I'm being incredibly sarcastic around it, but I don't know, I just... yeah, it's kind of pushing the boundaries of... I suppose it is supposed to be a bit pulpy. I can hear you, I can't see you. Please don't kill me. Wait a minute. That was a British officer, or, well, British uniform. You're going to tell me that he's part of this conspiracy as well? Yeah, so as I was saying, the fact that it loads so quickly on Windows 10 is actually kind of a bad thing, because it means that you don't get to hear the cool voice acting over the loading screen, which, you know, could flesh the world out a little bit more. So, let's look for some positives about this game. It's kind of frustrated me a little bit so far, and there's some interesting level design choices, like this pipe that just...
an alle wachhabenden Truppen.
Oh, for
Der
God's
Amerikaner
sake.
ist
Shut
geflohen.
up.
Schießbefehl wird hiermit erteilt.
Yes, it's been a somewhat infuriating experience playing this game, but at the same time, it does show a lot of imagination. Oh dear. I have no idea what's going on behind that door, but... yeah. I don't really want to know. Well, there's plenty of health packs. Those pesky Germans, always leaving the radio around. Why did that... Okay, fair enough. I don't know if that was meant to explode or not, but it just disappeared. I didn't even do anything. I do wonder if I'm going to end up having to face off against Cthulhu himself at some point. Maybe he's the main boss. Hey. So this is where the screaming came from. What the actual... Well, you didn't last long, did you? What is this? Some kind of cyborg thing? Cyborg Nazi with a minigun strapped to his shoulder. Interesting. A little bit of standard torture. Now, why did his granddad have an altar like that? That's what I want to know. I mean, that's not the kind of thing you just...
What the hell was that?
Well, I just said it was a cyborg, but I guess this is 1940. You probably don't know what a cyborg is yet, but yeah. Did you not know that you were in a pulpy World War II occult adventure novel? At least I seem to be able to fire this pistol faster than the Colt 45.
Those lunatics.
They certainly are.
What are they really doing here?
Major Tronsky has gone mad. He's barricaded himself in with one of those super weapons. And penned me up here and Sergeant Albers down there. He keeps talking about a black goat and so on.
Albers? Stefan Albers? I don't believe it. What, the devil?
Oh, what have I just done? I appear to have just opened a door, so that's not too bad at the moment. I'm genuinely worried I'm going to die very easily in this game, so I suppose in some ways it has kind of worked. The tension is building.
Freier von Landers, ergeben Sie sich!
Oh, the collision boxes on this radio are so annoying. Just let me shoot this guy. At last.
So that was the Major? What sort of symbol is that on his chest?
Looks like that thing from Westworld. The maze.
Forget it. I couldn't even load a thing like that.
Oh, come on, don't bait me like that. Well, don't put it in the level then. Anyway, P90 didn't come in until the 80s, didn't it? They very much like this cupboard. We've seen this replicated many times before. Perhaps could have benefited from some more custom media in this section. And just some better choices of media as well. Like, why do you have a big black antique, not black, what am I talking about? Big wooden antique cupboard just in a concrete bunker? I don't think it's very fitting for the scene. Ah.
Ruhig Blut, Robert. Wenn ich dich umbringen wollte, dann wärst du schon tot. Weißt du nicht mehr? Wir waren Freunde, als wir noch klein waren. Die Höhlen, hinten beim Schloss, dort haben wir immer gespielt. Mein Vater hat mich jedes Mal verprügelt, wenn er rausbekommen hat, dass ich mich mit der Satansbrut des alten Freiern abgebe. Zigarette. Amerikanische.
Das sind ohnehin meine. Hast du eine Ahnung, was hier los ist? Und was das mit meinem Großvater zu tun hat?
Diese Verrückten von der schwarzen Sonne haben irgendwie vor, dort weiterzumachen, wo dein Großvater aufgehört hat. Dein Großvater, der alte Freiherr. Ich weiß nur, dass ihn unsere Väter gemeinsam mit einem Bauern aus dem Dorf kalt gemacht, dann irgendetwas mit seiner Leiche angestellt haben, damit er nicht wieder zurückkommen kann.
Was meinst du mit zurückkommen?
Es hört sich verrückt an, aber genau daran arbeiten die von der SS. Sie versuchen ihn zurückzuholen. Und als gestern Nacht alles drunter und drüber ging, ich befürchte fast, sie haben es geschafft. Robert, du musst dich zum jungen Dr. Mehrens durchschlagen, wenn du mehr wissen willst. Der arbeitet zwar für die schwarze Sonne, hasst diese Typen aber auch wie die Pest. Und du musst durch die Laborbereiche. Und nur der Allmächtige weiß, was sich dort erwartet.
Kommst du mit?
Ich werde dir mal den Rücken frei halten. Nachdem du den Ian Trons erledigt hast, bin ich hier der ranghöchste Vertreter der Wehrmacht. Ich werde meine Jungs anfunken, dass sie dir helfen oder dich wenigstens in Ruhe lassen sollen. Ein paar von ihnen können es gar nicht erwarten, der SS so richtig in den Arsch zu treten. Nachdem ich meine überlebenden Männer gesammelt habe, komme ich nach. Viel Glück, Robert. Du wirst es brauchen. Und lass meine Jungs am Leben. Die meisten sind noch halbe Kinder. Und bei der SS zuerst schießen, dann fragen.
Meine Seele splittert, mein Geist zerfällt.
Okay, so that was the demo of Robert D. Anderson and the Legend of Cthulhu. I'm going to come out of that menu. Okay, so overall, yeah, like very imaginative, and it's definitely piqued my interest. I'm interested to see where the story goes. Massive props for the cutscenes, and yeah, just to do those alone is a really great addition to the game. Some of the music was very good, and there were some interesting little challenges in there as well. It kept me guessing, kept me thinking. But yeah, some of the kind of entity placement and the segment use, it just wasn't quite on point. I think we've seen better examples in other games. But having said that, I mean, hey, they got this game to market, and it's currently still selling for like £8 or £9 somewhere on the internet. So fair play. I mean, absolutely fair play. Obviously, a lot of effort and work went into that. So, you know, that is to be applauded. And ultimately, you know, the scope of the project was pretty huge, really, to do a 15-level game in FPSC. So yeah, that was Robert D. Anderson and the Legend of Cthulhu. Very long episode this time, because there's yeah, a few issues on my side just being rubbish at the game. But anyway, thanks for watching, and join me again next time for another FPSC classic, hopefully where I die less. Cheers, bye.